All right. Hello and welcome again, everyone. I'm your host, Ali, CEO and co-founder of Node, the leading digital customer experience platform for chemicals and ingredients. Our goal with this series is to share the perspectives you need to navigate the changing digital landscape of our industry. We have another amazing guest today, so we're going to jump right in. I'm thrilled to welcome Craig Rogerson. Craig was most recently Chairman, President, and CEO of Hexion. Before that, President and CEO of Chemtura. Craig has actually been the head of 5 different companies and is regarded as an expert in all things specialty chemicals and materials. Craig also serves on the board of Vibrance Technologies, Origin Materials, and PPL Corporation. Craig, it's a great honor to be with you today. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks, Ali. Appreciate it. I enjoy being here.
You've got a long storied history that I don't know that many people know. So is there any gaps in your past that you want to share that I may have missed?
Yeah, I don't know that there's any gaps. It's clear that I've been in the industry a long time, so I've got to be an old guy, and also clear that I've had problems holding jobs with the 5 roles I've had. But no, I've been in the chemical industry my whole career. I was a chemical engineer very early in my career and quickly moved out of that discipline. But I've enjoyed the chemical industry, especially the specialty chemical industry, and have enjoyed watching it evolve over the 40 years I've been involved. So again, it's been a great run.
40 years.
Yeah. See, I started when I was 6.
You look amazing.
Yeah.
Look, you're no longer in an operating role now, which I think gives you the freedom to maybe answer these questions even more directly than most.
Mhm.
Okay, so what we usually do is ask the same 3 questions of all of our guests. And the first one is this. We're seeing more and more suppliers increase investments in their digital capabilities, especially over the past 3 years. And these digital capabilities usually were for back office operations, ERPs and, supply chain manufacturing. But lately, it's been much more customer-facing initiatives. What's the biggest opportunity you see for suppliers when it comes to customer-facing projects? And folks usually talk about, digitizing their product catalogs and getting it out of like
Right.
documents and all that,
Yeah.
increasing customer reach, customer portals. I mean, we hear all sorts of things, but where do you see the opportunities?
Yeah, I think that all those are tools, but really the opportunities around growth. The chemical industry, especially the specialty chemical industry, has really been challenged to find organic growth for a number of years. Innovation has been the key driver, and by innovation, they typically mean product development, new products to allow them to get into new avenues or market adjacencies. But growth has been difficult to come by. And so if you look at the opportunity in digitization, I think it's around these channel access. So channels that they haven't effectively or efficiently been able to access before, there's an opportunity now, at least there's perceived to be. And I think that that's true, to be able to access customers that they haven't been able to access in the past by the direct channels that they typically go through. So growth, I would say, is the bottom line, and all those things like product catalogs or others are tools that they use to enable that growth.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously can't agree more. So, the digital world immediately gives access to everybody. I mean, you make your online catalog accessible. Now all of a sudden, thousands upon thousands of people can start browsing and seeing what you sell. The less dependency that a customer has on a sales rep coming to their office, which means that like your reach and growth obviously expands.
Right.
Huge opportunity that I think a lot of people are now finally starting to see.
Yeah.
We also hear from suppliers that the expectations of their customers are changing. That they want information to be more accessible, that they want more responsiveness. What trends have you seen when it comes to customer expectations, just generally?
Yeah, I think you've hit on a couple of those. One is convenience. Everybody's busy. They don't want to spend a lot of time searching or waiting for people to call on them. And so having that search capability is important. And then more important, even after that, is being able to access the information. So, easy to manipulate the website, to navigate the website. I know every company wants to be able to, when you do a keyword search, to come up in the first number 1 or number 2 slot, because below that, you typically lose interest. So all of those things, when websites are designed or this whole digitization process is employed, is what everybody's looking for. And clearly, everybody's not going to be number one or number two on the search. So finding a way to differentiate yourself has really been the goal of industry, broader than specialty chemical or chemical. And I think the chemical industry has been way behind on that, but it's certainly recognizing the last 3 to 5 years that that's very important. So not just having a website where somebody can look at your name, but again, keyword searches where they're actually going to be able to navigate and transact. And that's another big step for the chemical industry that we haven't done before. It's been information, then you get a phone number you can call. The ability to transact, the ability to track and monitor, searches and hits on your website so you can actually follow up as necessary, if necessary, is also important. So all of that kind of probably something that's been in place for years in other industries, certainly in people's personal lives, are the way people in procurement or supply chain or any research want to be able to access information now. It's what they're used to, and it's time for the chemical industry to catch up. And I think we are slowly but surely.
It's time to catch
You're right.
up.
I wouldn't have said that when I was a CEO, but I can say it now.
It is time to catch up.
Yeah.
A lot of the tech that is so ubiquitous in all the other markets are now finally starting to come here. Investors of ours ask me the question all the time, like, how has this not happened? And I'll spare you, my thoughts on that. But the root of the problem that we've always seen that must be solved first is that, customers at the end of the day are looking to learn more about your products and the value propositions and so on. And most of that knowledge is just stuck in PDF documents or in people's heads. And, unless we're able to unpack all those documents, organize and structure and harmonize all that data and make it really easily accessible, then creating those amazing customer experiences is really, really challenging. And, this is something that we obviously have gotten to be experts at, but it's so foundational to like getting that customer experience right. It's exactly what you just said, like to be able to do those keyword searches or be able to, apply filters and find exactly what you're looking for. I mean, like that's the first step that's got to get solved. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for our industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Third question. And from my perspective, the most important. 2023 is not 2021. There are headwinds right now. And every company that we've spoken to in all corners of the market, regardless of where they play in the value chain, is referring to headwinds. And there are some industry leaders that we see that are, cutting costs and, deferring investments. And there are others that see this as an opportunity to invest. And, they frequently cite that there's no good time and, why not now? And so, how do you think through balancing, short-term challenges with long-term investments?
There are always limits on the amount of money you have to spend. So when times are good, there's limits. Obviously, when times are tougher, like now, those limits are lower. It's about making choices and prioritization, right? You're going to spend capital, you're going to spend expense dollars. So it's making choices on where to spend it. And in the short term, you're looking for, when times are difficult, where are you going to get the kind of near-term returns? And I think when we talked about the efficiency of sales growth through these channels that haven't been tapped before, it seems to be a choice that's a logical choice to make now. Clearly, for the long term, this is the way things are going, and no one would argue that investing in the digital technology space is going to be important. I would argue that as you look at your priorities now and make those choices, the things that have a near-term payback are where you're going to typically invest. Yeah. This seems to be one of those areas, right? It's got good payback. It's really consistent with what people are trying to do strategically, and again, it drives efficiency. So you look at times like now, you spend on investments and trying to improve efficiency and energy consumption, with the capital projects in the plants. I'd look at this similar. It's a way to get channel to market with relatively lower investment than some of the other projects you're looking at that should have a relatively near-term and measurable return. That's the kind of near-term, you're near survival mode. You want to invest in those things that you can get return quickly. And I think that's why this should be especially interesting now. And I think that's why you're getting some of the interest you're getting now, because people are recognizing that they need something to kickstart their their top and bottom lines, and this is a way to try to attack that.
Yep, that's right. I mean, you hit on the two most important things already. So digital equals efficiency and growth. And it's a different way of thinking through those two things, because it's a lever that the industry hasn't historically used. But
Right.
as those folks are getting more accustomed to implementing this sort of tech, they start to immediately see the benefits. And it's not a 7-year horizon, it's a 1-year or 2-year horizon. And so, like you said, we're getting there.
Yeah, that's good. No, I think that's going to continue to be the case. When businesses are in survival mode like they are now versus thriving mode, you look at where the low-hanging fruit is, and this appears to be one of those options for many companies.
Yep. Craig, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for the insight. Everyone loves listening to these, short, informal conversations with the folks that have helped shape our industry. Thank you for everything you do. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to do next and helping continue to move the industry forward. The next 40
Thank you, Ali. Appreciate it. Yeah. Bye-bye.
See you, Craig.